Hi guys, thank y'all very much for coming out to listen to us today. I'm Jeff Harris, this is my wife Donna. We're the owners of Run With It. We're a technical running store in downtown Walton Beach, about 5 miles east of here, right on Highway 98. We've been coming out to Weight Warriors, I think this is like maybe the 4th year that we've done this. And talk to you guys and just kind of give an overview of what we do and the importance of getting in the right running or walking shoe. That's really our specialty, hence the name Run With It. We don't do tennis, we don't do golf, we don't do anything else. We have actually been open 8 years. We started out in Navarre with a little bitty store in the public shopping center. Okay, it's been 8 years, I can't believe it. But then we moved over to Fort Walton after about 1.5 years and doubled in size. And we were in that location for 3 years and then moved to our present location, which is just down the street of the previous one. But we've been there for almost 3 years this month, as a matter of fact. So, been around for a while, and we are a typical mom and pop store.
Yes.
We've got mom and pop here.
We have about maybe 6 or 8
8 employees. We're all runners. Donna and I have been running for, well, we've always run. We didn't run in school, we weren't on track teams or anything like that, but we ran for exercise. And just within the past 10 years, 10 to 15 years, we got serious about it. As we got older and we figured we needed to stay in shape, and running is really the best way to do that. It's the easiest. All you need is a good pair of running shoes. You don't have to go anywhere special to do it. Step out your door and take off. And there's not many sports that you can say that.
Or you have a treadmill, which is really nice because you guys have access to all these wonderful facilities. I'm jealous every time I walk in. I'm like, oh, it's nice.
Very true.
So,
But we're just going to kind of give an overview of what we do and the differences of the shoes and apparel and what we do that's different from other people. And so if anybody has any questions, please feel free to speak up.
so how many of you are running already in your program? You have to run a little bit. So do you guys run some? Yeah. So we teach a Couch to 5K program twice a year. So we're used to having kind of novice runners and teaching them how to go along the program and all the new nuances of running. And we always start with, of course, setting a goal. That's a great place to start because in pretty much following a training plan for that goal. And you guys have a goal. When is the Weight Warriors, when is the culmination?
When does it end?
Yes.
Yeah, when is it end?
Beginning of March.
Okay, so right now that's your goal, I guess. And like our goal in our running program is usually a 5K race. And so we work, it's an 8-week program, we work towards that race. So the problem is a lot of people after that race is over, or after Weight Warriors is over, or after you pass your PT test, you stop running. So we try to encourage people to just make it a lifestyle. So there's things that you can do. You can join another race, find a running buddy that's really enthusiastic about keeping you in it, and then the races are really fun. Once you kind of get in, and I say race, but runs. It could be a run walk. It doesn't have to be a run. But getting involved in that community is really fun. I mean, you start to make friends, and there's always after parties, and so it's more to it than just running, but it keeps you running, keeps you training. So we preach, just making it a lifestyle. You do a log, like right now y'all are probably used to logging all your activities that you're doing, so you get points for it. Keep that up, keep a log, keep a calendar on your refrigerator that says I'm going to run or walk, 3 days a week. Just things to keep you doing it. Read about it, Runner's World, other things.
Watch the different programs that you do.
Yeah, there's running apps, and you'll probably know about this, so there's all kinds of availability. What else? So as you've been running and walking and training, has anybody experienced the pain? Pain?
Shin splints, anything like that.
We all do. But that's where we come in, because a lot of it could be your shoes. And we start there. And we kind of tell
Yeah,
them
well,
shoes.
so running shoes come in different degrees of support. And I say running shoes. You don't have to run in a
Yeah, we're
running
saying
shoe.
running.
You can walk in a running shoe, but you can't run in a walking shoe. makes sense. But running shoes come in different degrees of support. It's based on how high your arch is and what your feet do as you go through your gait cycle. So the first thing that we do when you come into our store is watch you walk barefoot to see what your feet are doing, how high your arches are. And depending on what your foot does, whether you roll towards the center, or you roll to the outside, or you have flat feet, or you have high arches, that's going to put you down, that's going to narrow it down to a particular category of running shoes. And there are 3 different categories. There's neutral, stability, and motion control. So the first thing we do is figure out which category you're in. And that's going to narrow it down. There may be 25 or 30 shoes that are made for what your foot does, but that's somewhere to start. And there's a huge variance among the running shoes. Somebody's looking for something ultra lightweight, very little cushioning. Usually you give up the cushioning for the lightweight shoes. Or if somebody's looking for something for a daily trainer, they don't care about a really, really heavy shoe. Not that there are heavy shoes anymore, but usually a heavier shoe is going to have a little bit more cushioning to it. So that first step, no pun intended, for us is to get you walking, see what shoe you should be in which category, and then get some shoes on your feet. Because until you get a shoe on your foot, you don't know if the arch is going to hit you in the right spot, whether they're wide, whether they need to be wide, just the whole shoe. Every foot's different and every shoe's different. So what works for you doesn't necessarily work for you. So we get you in and get you in the shoes. Yes, ma'am?
Now, when you mentioned the 3 different types, like on my paper, it indicated that I need the stability type shoe. Does
Okay.
that mean because I lean towards one to the other side?
It does. It means that you have usually somebody that needs a stability shoe has lower arches, or their arches are flexing and they're rolling towards the center. And I could show you, I can't really show you because it's more from your ankles, but basically you're rolling this direction. And so the shoes are made they're built up.
This is a good example.
Yeah, they're built up on the medial side so that as your arch goes to collapse or flex, you hit an extra density under your arch. So the shoes do the work so your body doesn't have to. So normally, shin splints primarily are caused by you're in a shoe that's not right for your foot. Maybe a great shoe, and money has, the more you pay for it doesn't necessarily make it a better shoe for you. It can be a great shoe, but if it's not made for your foot, then you're going to have issues.
That being said, though, you want to pay probably, but prices $100 and up are going to be your better shoes. And there really is a lot of technology in the shoes. We have people that come in and say they bought their shoes at Walmart and that kind of thing, or they bought a $60 pair on sale that's probably 3 or 4 years old. And, so it does make a huge difference, actually. But there's not a big difference between a $120 shoe necessarily and a $200 shoe that's going to work for you. It's just, it varies. And so did you get a gait analysis at the Hawk?
Yes, I do.
Has anybody else done that? Gotten a gait analysis?
That was really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And that's a little bit more than what we do. We do a visual and we watch you run the shoe, but I love it because you have your piece of paper.
Yeah.
Did they check off anything, or did they just say, okay, you're in the stability
Let's see.
category?
She's just,
Maybe the one that says stability.
she's giving us this.
So we love those sheets because it's funny to us because it's all the stability shoes. We're talking from a super, super lightweight, flexible shoe to this mega motion control shoe. They're all on there. So that's where we come in. So you go get your gait analysis at the Hawk, and then you come in the store. We do ours also and decide which amount of stability we need. So that's a great way to start, though, at the Hawk, and then let us,
We fine-tune it.
yeah, we fine tune it, exactly. So,
And
yes.
how often would you recommend to buy new shoes?
We say every 300 to 500 miles, probably no more than a year if you're using the shoe, And you want to you really want to keep your running, walking shoes for that reason, because they're going to break down faster and it does get expensive, So if you can keep those for just that activity.
Something to keep in mind is that athletic shoes, all athletic shoes, but really running and walking shoes, they are made of mostly petroleum products. So over time they break down. Even if they're brand new, like you might buy a pair of shoes and you don't use them very much, once you've had them for 2 years, it doesn't matter whether you use them or not, they're broken down. And that's why. So you can find previous versions of shoes, like you may be able to find this shoe online for $30, whereas new it's $150. Then if it's 3 years old, it could be 4 years out of production since it's been produced, and you get that shoe, and there's no structure left to it, even though it's brand new in the box.
Or it's just not going to hold up as long.
Yeah.
So it's better to keep them, maybe one season old, it's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah. And
We have our sale closet too, so.
Yeah.
Anything else about shoes?
I'm missing it.
So yeah, we have a huge variety, anywhere from, you know, like a lightweight training shoe, gym shoe, all the way up to, you know, a distance running shoe, like the Hoka. I don't know if anybody's heard of the Hoka, but they're a max cushion shoe, so super lightweight. I mean, you can pass that around. It's just like,
Yeah, the shoe was originally designed for people running 100-mile ultra marathons. So super lightweight, big and bulky looking. It looks, you know, oh my gosh, who could run in that shoe? Feel that shoe?
but it absorbs the shock. So if you're running on the street all the time, you know, you don't even feel it.
Right, and there's literally no impact when you run in these shoes.
That's pretty well.
So we say they were designed for ultra marathoners, but they've since been discovered by broken runners. So people whose knees hurt, their back hurts, they can run again because there's no impact. So,
Since you brought that up with knees and backs, if you've got the right shoe, that should be enough.
it's definitely going to help. Now, you know, some people just, you know, if you've had an injury or you've got meniscus issues with your knees or, you know, you just,
There's other variables.
yeah, there are a lot of variables, but yes, getting into the right shoe will definitely take the pressure off of your knees. And the cushioning is a friend.
But you always hear about people that have run all their lives and then they end up with serious knee issues.
Yes.
But
Yes.
then you hear about people who don't exercise at all, and then it goes to That's what I always tell people. It's That's my answer to that. So just as important as shoes are your socks. You want to be in a good technical sock, which means no cotton, because cotton just stays moist. So if you're out there sweating, it just doesn't wick the moisture away from your foot like a technical blend sock. So it'd be, a synthetic blend. They also have other nice features. They're a little pricier, of course. Like these are anywhere from $11 to $16 or more, some of them. But they have like a heel notch, so they really stay up on your heel. They usually need an arch wrap, so it hugs your arch. They're just really good socks. This one's left and right specific, so, you know, really good, durable, and just help prevent blisters. There's no seams, that kind of thing.
Really the main thing with the socks, and really with any running apparel or anything you exercise in, you really want to stay away from cotton. Cotton is not your friend when it comes to that.
What about the socks that have toes?
Those
I love them.
are wonderful because a lot of people have problems with their toes overlapping or rubbing, and they get blisters between their toes. That keeps your toes separated so you don't get that rubbing while you're running.
If you can stand them, they're
It
great.
takes some getting used to.
I love them. So next most important piece of equipment, except for maybe one of us in here. So we carry a line of bras called Moving Comfort. There's plenty of sports bras out there, but I really like this brand. But what you want to look for in a sports bra is adjustability. These have the Velcro straps. They have a hook and eye closure, so you can make it really fit you to reduce the bounce and the chafing. I don't know about you guys, but I get it right here on the bra line. So just a technical running bra is really important. We have, you know, a bunch of different kinds, as well as apparel, like men's shorts or women's shorts. It's all made out of a moisture wicking fabric, very lightweight fabric. You know, it makes it more comfortable. You're not going to chafe as much. A lot of the apparel has the reflective tops on it, so if you're running late or early or dark, that's very important. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, with guys' shorts, running shorts all have built-in liners, and they're soft. They don't chafe, supposedly, although some people have that problem no matter what. But they also make we didn't bring any, but it's called a 2-in-1 short, where it's built-in compression. It's a compression short that's built into the outer short, and those are wonderful. We just sell lots and lots of those.
They don't ride up as much.
Yeah.
Less.
Chafe issues just go away. So.
Yeah, and I'm just going to show you another top, this kind of thing, talking about the reflectivity. This one has it all along here. Plus, this one is really cool. It's built into the fabric, so you know when the car lights hit you, you're gonna really glow. And you guys know what chafing is, right? You may experience that. So we've got something for chafing also. We carry 2 different brands. Y'all heard of Bodyglide? Anybody? So yeah, it's your friend, isn't it? And there's also a Sport Shield, which I really like too. It's just the same thing. This one goes on like a dry deodorant. This one goes on like a roll-on. So, kind of good for feet and other places where you hard to get to. But basically, it just creates a barrier between you and, fabrics and other liners, and it's hitting in the wrong spot. So people just tend to blister and chafe.
And it's not water soluble, so it takes up water to get it off, so you can't sweat it away.
This is your friend.
And also, if you're running on the beach, the sand won't stick to it, which is really nice. It's like Teflon. So,
And just one more thing that I always think is important is that, like this time of year when it's cold, or it's not cold today, but when it is cold, it's important to layer because, and kind of know what temperature, where you know what to wear with the temperature that it is. Like I know if it's going to be 45 degrees, then I need probably, or under, it's going to be cloudy all day, and windy, and I need a long tight, and about 3 layers for me because I freeze. And if it's going to be 50, but it's going to get up to 70 that day, then you want to be able to take off. So it's to start off chilly, but you want to be able to take off your clothes. And layering is just an important thing to do.
Captain
you don't
dress for 2
get-
seasons.
So you don't get too hot. You can overheat really easily. I've done that before. It's not fun. Let's see. We'll go on to common injuries. So you guys have probably heard, about a lot of injuries that are associated with running and working out and other things. Plantar fasciitis. Anybody ever heard of plantar fasciitis?
Or habit.
Yeah, or have it. We hear about it all day, every day at the store. People. It's just a very common injury. Piriformis is right here in your butt. IT band is a band that runs from your hip to your knee. It's iliotibial syndrome. Gets inflamed. Achilles tendonitis, patellar tendonitis, which is commonly known as runner's knee. These are all very, very common shin splints, common injuries. When you first start working out and running, and a lot of it's due to your strengthening your larger muscles, but maybe not strengthening your smaller muscles, or it takes longer to strengthen the smaller muscles. And since there's an imbalance, it creates problems. So you can usually work through those problems, but there's a lot of things that we carry that can help. Things like for plantar fasciitis, we've got the plantar sleeve that actually just goes, it's a compression sleeve that goes over your foot. And it's designed specifically for plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendonitis. And it's not expensive, it's an easy fix, but compression helps because it helps with blood flow. So it's repairing the tissue and getting rid of the lymphatic, it builds up the lactic acid, that kind of thing. And it also stabilizes your muscles. So compression is also used for, say, shin splints, calf pain. These are compression sleeves. Same thing, it's graduated medical grade compression. So it's helping with the blood flow. The blood's flowing, it's returning oxygen, and it's stabilizing the muscles. So compression is a really good thing, as well as the whole cycle for recovery. So the sleeve would be more used for actual activity. Sock would be used for recovery. I don't know about y'all, but my mom always told me wear your compression socks, and it does help with pains and things. KT tape. Y'all heard of KT tape? It's the same kind of concept, but it's tape. It supports the muscle, lifts up the skin, so your lymphatic system can clean out all the impurities. We have bands for knee problems. We have sleeves for knee problems. We have insoles. So for plantar fasciitis, if you go to the podiatrist, he's probably going to either get you to buy a $400 insert or get one custom made, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of over-the-counter ones that just work perfectly. And they're usually sized for your shoe. And the ones we carry the full insert, which I like better than the 3/4. Somebody was talking about the 3/4 insert.
And we sell lots and lots of them to go to military boots. People use
Oh,
boots
yeah,
just
we
don't
do.
have enough arch support for armor for crimping.
And this is really cool. Even something like this guy's only $7. It's a spiky ball. So for plantar fasciitis, you just put it on the floor, rub your foot on it. You can use things like a golf ball, tennis ball. We carry tee balls, and that looks like it would hurt, but it feels really good. Don't press too hard at first.
It's not soft. Like
So so there's a lot of things out there. Foam roller. Y'all know about the foam roller? Anybody use the foam roller?
They're pleasant, aren't they?
Those are feet.
No pain, no gain, right? But I have IT exam problems, so I'm always on my foam roller, just rolling out. And I love Trigger Point because They have support online, so you can YouTube Trigger Point, and they have videos of how to roll out everything, from calves to thighs to
Whatever's
back.
bothering you.
This is the stick, so it's kind of a travel massage stick, same thing.
Very similar to the foam roller, except that it's handheld, and if you're doing it and it feels good, you're not doing it right. You need to push harder. That's why the foam roller is good, because it's your body weight that's down on this, so it tends to get deeper into your muscle. This you can back off if it's hurting. Test it out and see what you think.
And as well as insoles, we also carry, because some people do have plantar fasciitis, so we carry support sandals as well. So Bionic is a really good brand. It has like a deep heel cup and a nice arch support, and they're really cute. So we like those a lot. UFOs, same thing. It's more of your casual, squishy sandal, but it has arch support. So, I think one of the things the doctors tell people with plantar fasciitis is don't walk around the house barefoot. So things like the UFOs, you can slip on when you get out of bed, and it helps tremendously. But the main thing, if you're having chronic pain or acute pain, then it's time to see the doctor. Come see us and let us help you with all the therapy stuff. But if it's really, really painful, it's time to go to the doctor. Don't put it off.
It's a lot easier to prevent injuries than it is to rehab from them once they occur.
As much success you guys also have, a lot of stuff you see with the copper, the sleeves also with the copper. Have you guys a lot of folks with, the copper, the
I
tongue?
know exactly what you're talking about. We don't carry the copper.
I didn't want to give other folks that do that. I mean, I was always curious if, not in commercials, but, you deal with, a lot of professional runners that run all the time.
Yes.
So, a lot of those different, any kind of, I know a lot of times they say a lot of folks now actually run more with it, with the type of calf stuff that actually helps them the whole time they run marathons. But I was wondering about the copper.
Yeah, so I don't know. People say the copper technology really works. I think it's just an added benefit to the regular compression. But
I don't know if any of our companies make it.
I don't think our company, they don't make copper. I think Johnny Copper or something they have.
But yeah, something like that. I don't know, like almost like a placebo effect where everybody's telling you it works good, but you all deal with pretty much professional runners all the time, so.
We do. And we know that compression works. Maybe the added copper helps a little bit more. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, most of my people run with the sleeves all the time because to prevent injury as well as, yes, if they're already injured, but to prevent injury, that's a good point.
And you're not as sore the next day too, which is nice.
Yeah, it's magical.
Is there what?
Full body.
Well,
There are, but they're super expensive. I can order you one. There is a company, is it Q12, and some other ones that we can take a full body measurement.
They
and they will
actually
custom
custom
made.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't do it. It makes me nervous to do that.
See on TV pretty soon.
That's a real thing.
Run it pretty soon on TV.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
so I beat you to the.
Let's see, where are we? Okay, safety. So, how many of you exercise outside, early or late, or when it's dark? Yeah, so I guess this time of year you really can't help it, although it's getting lighter later. But we have tons of stuff, or there is a lot of stuff out there. You want to be lit up like a Christmas tree, because the fact is people are on their phones, or that's my biggest thing. You see it all day, every day. They're just swerving towards you. Some people do it on purpose. Like you're running along and they just want to bug you. I don't know what it is, but so yeah, we have everywhere from the slap bands that the car lights it and you're lit up. We have flashing lights. We have some lights. This is my new favorite one. Yeah, I will.
Get your attention on it.
Flashing lights are great because the cars see you. This illuminates in front of you, so like a flashlight. And this one is a USB, has a USB connection, so you don't have to buy batteries for it, which I love.
This one also, and this is actually a headlamp, so you can put it on your head and you can see where you're going. You can definitely see where you're going.
Yeah, and we run back our groups. We have a Tuesday night run every Tuesday night, and we run on Brook Street. And you know how Brook Street is. It is dark and there's cars. At first it's really bad when we're trying to get. Once we get down on the bridge, it's better. But still, there's uneven roads. So I don't know. Do any of y'all live down there? Or the neighbors hate us because there's like 50 of us running, but we are lit up like Christmas trees.
That's right.
But it's dark and it scares them if if we're not lit up. So very important to be visible. And like I said, a lot of the apparel has the,
Pop,
pop built into it.
and the shoes too.
Yeah, they do, they glow. So, the other thing that we preach is no headphones if you're on the street, because you need to be aware of what's going on around you, especially women, but guys too, but, you need to be able to hear the cars coming, be able to hear dogs coming at you, whatever it is, you need to be aware. And then once you start running without music, it's wonderful. I mean, you can think through the day, you can plan things. I mean, I've gone like 4 miles, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just planned a whole race, or something like that. So it really gets to be nice. You have to get used to it, but it's a good thing. Unless you're running on the treadmill, then you can wear your headphones. Yeah.
Question on that.
Yes.
Do you see any difference, advantage, disadvantage between on the road and on the treadmill?
I think I guess so. I mean, it's subjective. I know that it's convenient for some people, or they just can't get outside. But if you're going to be running races or doing a run that's on the road, you need to practice on the road. If you're, you need to be doing what event you're going to be doing.
You get benefits from the same benefits from both.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The treadmill is nice and cushioned, so if you're having knee issues, and you're trying to come back and rehab, the treadmill is probably a little bit easier on your body than the road is going to be.
And the treadmill is also really good for intervals. If you're doing run-walk intervals, or you're doing, whatever kind of intervals, whether you're running faster, really great for intervals also. So no, I think it's beneficial. But if you are planning to go a road race or something like that, you need to practice on the terrain that you're going to be on. That's very important, whether it's hills or that kind of thing too. So, let's see.
Well, I do have something for that. If you're trying to go for time for anything, then don't rely on treadmill. It's a false sense of security. I've done that before, and I thought I was doing really good, and then I went out to run a PT test, and it's not the same because it's also giving you your speed and you're keeping with it, but it's not the same as actually being out there. So you're not actually going because it's keeping it for you instead of you doing it yourself.
Keep track.
Good point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Other things, mace, anything to keep you safe. So we also, nutrition, which I'm sure y'all are probably learning some about nutrition in this course, I would imagine. You know a lot about it, probably more than I do. But if you are going to be exercising for longer than an hour, you definitely need supplements. So things like you've heard of food, but there's gels, there's bars, there's chews. You want to take some kind of supplement with you if you're going to be exercising 45 minutes to an hour. You just don't want to be, you don't want to run out of gas, that kind of thing. There's also hydration. We carry Moon and many other things, but you can use Propel or Gatorade or whatever. You want to stay hydrated.
And not just water.
Yeah, you want your electrolytes too, and you don't want to dilute your electrolytes with too much water. You don't want to overhydrate, but everybody's body's different, and you want to figure out what works for you. What else? He's telling me I have to wrap it up here.
Well,
Other cool things that I really love, just little extras. Any kind to hold your hydration or your nutrition. There's all kinds of belts. This is a SPY belt, small personal item is what it stands for. This is the flip belt,
expands, you can put your phones in it. So
and that's another really important thing to run with your phone, just in case. This one goes on like a waistband, so it has 4 different slits in it, and then you put everything you want to put in there and flip it over. And with hydration, we also have, obviously waist packs, handhelds, and this handheld has reflective pops all over it, plus it's insulated, and then backpacks if you're really going to go for a long time.
Yeah, holds a bunch of water.
Yeah. And I was going to mention, do you guys know about Ranger Camp in Timberlake for exercising? So it's, 7 miles out Beale Parkway. You get to Lewis Turner out there. And you need a pass. Even if you're military, you have to have a military pass. You guys go out there? You go out there to Timberlake and Ranger Camp?
We've been to the Ranger Camp for other
Okay.
reasons, for work.
Yeah. So there's Ranger Camp Road, which is great for riding. If you love to cycle, you can ride out there. There are cars, but they know you're out there. It's okay for running. It's just a long road. But parallel to that is Timberlake Road, and it's the first 2 miles you drive out 2 miles, and it's clay road all as many miles.
It goes all the way to Navarre.
Yeah. So it's a really great place to exercise. But in between the two roads, there's trails. So if you happen to be interested in going out and hiking trail, or, walking trails or running trails, and they're not hard trails, they're not real technical, but you would have to get a pass to do that. I think it's $20.
Just go to Jackson Guard in Niceville.
But check it out, if you like to be outside and exercising, it is the place to do it.
You mentioned about running paths and walking paths. When you're on, say, on 98, because there are certain places on 98 that have a pass, would you suggest running with or against traffic?
You want to run against traffic. Thank you. Good point. Yeah, you always want to face what's coming at you.
You never see what's coming.
Yeah.
Without the headphones. Yes, face traffic, good point. Yes. Anything else?
So that's not a law? Because I know that they say that some states or whatever, you actually have to be with the flow.
On your bike you do,
Okay,
but not,
not running.
Not right.
I don't know if it's a law or not. I don't think so.
I wouldn't want to, to be honest. Yeah, I'd love to see what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. And the bridges are good for hill work. Cardio, more cardio. That's the only place, unless you go to Niceville.
Yeah. Well, so we've got a lot of stuff up here. If you guys want to come up after and talk to us individually, we can point out some things or
And
have
if we
any
have
questions.
one more second, I can show you a little bit about form. On a really quick little form.
Do we have time? Yeah, whatever.
Are we okay on time for that? Okay. All right, so I'll do it. I just learned this, so I just went to a RRCA coaches certification course. I'm not certified yet, I have to take this, but it's pretty cool. But he had us perform, he had us get up, and I'll get up. It's good practice for me. All right, so I want everybody to put their arms up and start running like this. And how does that feel?
Awkward.
Does that feel natural?
No.
Your shoulders feel kind of tight. Yes. Feel kind of awkward. You feel your waist moving a lot. All right, that's not a good way to run, right? So the next thing he had us do was pretend like you're cross country skiing. Now, do you ever see people that are out on the street running like this and they're just flailing their arms out and you're like, that's bad running form.
Not in public.
Yeah, exactly. So how does that feel? How does that feel on your waist and you feel stiff in your hips and everything? So obviously we don't want to do those things. We want to control our arms and our shoulders. And the best way to kind of get your shoulders down is you want your elbows to be swishing across your, say, belt loops. So you went all the way down on your waist, on your belt loops. And so then let's go like this. Where you kind of come like this. So where your hands are landing should be somewhere around your belly button. That's where you want your elbows and hands to be, down that low. And you can feel, you kind of open up your chest, your posture's better. So when you're running, you want to keep your hands loose. So let's say I'll kind of pretend like we're running. All right, so most of us have our thumbs up, right, our thumbs up. We don't really want the thumbs up, we want them to rest on your hand, and that helps relax your hands. You can put a penny in your hand, you want it to kind of just float around in there. And that's just helping your shoulders stay relaxed, your body stay relaxed. So the other thing is posture. You don't want to lean forward. You've seen those people who run like this, and or like this. So you want to keep your posture good. And a good way to do that is pretend like you're being pulled along by a string. So you're up like this. So you have your arms down. You're up like this, and you want to have a little bit of a forward lean, but that's just to lean into your gait. So you don't want to fall into your gait because then you're going to overstride. You don't want to overstride. So you want to keep your stride short. So you're just a forward lean and just kind of lean into it, and then you're going to go from there. So not really a lean, but just kind of falling into your run. Because you don't want to bend at the waist. You just want to be pulled forward with good posture from here, like you're a puppet. So that, with that little bit of a lean, you're going to land naturally on the ball of your foot, which is, if you go to a form running, that's the whole thing. You want to land midfoot to the ball of your foot. You don't want to heel strike. Because if you're coming out like that, you're putting on the brakes, and you're hurting your joints, your knees, your hips, and everything. So just keeping that stride short, good posture, hands loose. That's good running. I should make it all good.